place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge. And hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things, understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
What if a single phone call could unravel the careers of hip-hop's biggest name? That's exactly what's happening right now with P Diddy's leaked jail conversation. But here's what everyone's wondering, is Jay-Z next? As Diddy faces serious federal charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering, his desperate attempt to reach out to Jay-Z has backfired spectacularly. Why is Jay-Z avoiding Diddy's calls? And what does he know that we don't? The answers might just reshape the music industry as we know it.
Yeah, man, Faith Evans, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
Yeah, I had like, you know,
what
like a living
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
As the legal storm around P Diddy intensifies, a bombshell has dropped that's shaking the music industry to its core. An alleged leaked jail phone call between Diddy and his son has surfaced, and it's raising eyebrows across the board. With Diddy facing serious federal charges including sex trafficking and racketeering, this call could be the key that unlocks a whole new level of trouble for the hip-hop mogul. The authenticity of the call is a hot topic of debate. Some insiders swear it's the real deal, capturing Diddy in a moment of desperation as he tries to manage the fallout from behind bars. Others are skeptical, suggesting it might be an AI-generated fake designed to further tarnish Diddy's reputation. But regardless of its origin, the content of the call is sending shockwaves through Hollywood, and in the alleged conversation, Diddy can be heard giving his son some pretty suspicious instructions. He talks about a list and emphasizes the importance of keeping certain information under wraps. Make sure you delete everything. He supposedly says, his voice tense with urgency. These phrases have legal experts buzzing about potential evidence, tampering, and obstruction of justice. If the call turns out to be genuine, the implications for Diddy are massive. It could be seen as an admission of guilt, or at least an attempt to cover up wrongdoing. The feds would likely pounce on this as key evidence in building their case against him. But the ripple effects don't stop there. Diddy's apparent concern about a list has people wondering just who might be on it and what kind of dirt it could contain. This is where things get really interesting. The call hints at a wider web of celebrities who might be caught up in Diddy's legal troubles. Names are being whispered in industry circles, with everyone from A-list actors to music executives wondering if they might be implicated. The potential for career-ending revelations is sending a chill through Hollywood's elite. So what shocking revelations did Diddy's leaked jail phone calls really expose? While we don't have all the answers yet, it's clear that this is just the tip of the iceberg. The call suggests a frantic attempt at damage control, hinting at secrets that could bring down more than just Diddy himself. As investigators dig deeper, we're left wondering, who else might get caught in the crossfire? And speaking of big names, there's one in particular that keeps coming up, Jay-Z. What's his connection to all of this? And why is Diddy so desperate to reach him?
The P. Diddy's arrest was last night.
Yeah.
His charging documents were unsealed right before we went on air, and they include sex trafficking, transporting to engage in prostitution.
Federal prosecutors generally don't lose these kinds of cases, and this was more disturbing to me. It's only 14 pages, but within the 14 pages, it describes mob-like behavior, describing a criminal enterprise that involved trafficking of underage people across state lines to have sex, and they dubbed them freak-offs.
Imagine being at the top of the music world one day and potentially facing a federal subpoena the next. That's the reality Jay-Z might be confronting as Diddy's legal troubles deepen. What does the rap mogul know, and how much is he willing to reveal? Jay-Z and Diddy's friendship spans decades, intertwining their personal lives and business ventures. They've collaborated on music projects, shared stages, and been fixtures at each other's events. Their bond seemed unbreakable, a testament to loyalty in the cutthroat music industry. But now, that very closeness might put Jay-Z in a precarious position. Rumors have long swirled about Jay-Z's presence at Diddy's infamous parties. These star-studded gatherings, once the talk of Hollywood, are now under intense scrutiny. Federal investigators are piecing together timelines and guest lists, leaving many celebrities nervous about their past associations. Jay-Z's name keeps popping up, raising questions about what he might have witnessed. In high-profile cases like this, prosecutors often cast a wide net for potential witnesses. Subpoenas can be issued to anyone believed to have relevant information, regardless of their fame or status. For Jay-Z, this means he could be legally compelled to testify about his experiences with Diddy. It's a situation that puts him between a rock and a hard place, caught between loyalty to a friend and cooperation with the law. Legal experts have weighed in on the potential risks for celebrity witnesses in cases like these. Niyama Rahmani, a former federal prosecutor, pointed out a crucial factor. People who participated in the sex acts should especially be afraid because they can also be charged with sex trafficking or prostitution. This stark warning highlights the personal stakes for anyone called to testify, even if they're not the primary target of the investigation. If Jay-Z were to take the stand, he'd face a minefield of legal and personal risks. Any knowledge of illegal activities, even if he wasn't directly involved, could potentially implicate him. Rahmani noted that Jay-Z might choose to invoke his Fifth Amendment right to avoid self-incrimination, a move that could protect him legally but raise eyebrows in the court of public opinion. The likelihood of Jay-Z actually being called to testify remains uncertain. Prosecutors typically prefer witnesses who weren't involved in any criminal acts. If Jay-Z is seen as a potential participant rather than just an observer, he might be spared the witness stand. But this uncertainty only adds to the tension surrounding the case. While Jay-Z's potential involvement has sent shockwaves through the music world, he's far from the only celebrity feeling the heat. Diddy's extensive network spans decades and industries, leaving many to wonder just how deep does this rabbit hole go? And more importantly, who else might get caught in the crossfire? The leaked phone call between Diddy and his son hinted at a mysterious list that's now causing panic in Hollywood's elite circles. Diddy's connections run deep, with relationships spanning from music icons like Usher and Justin Bieber to industry moguls and even up-and-coming stars. This vast web of associations now has everyone on edge, wondering if their name might be on that list or if they'll be caught up in the investigation. Fear and uncertainty are spreading like wildfire among celebrities potentially linked to Diddy. Those who attended his infamous parties are particularly anxious. What once were glamorous, star-studded events are now potential crime scenes in the eyes of federal investigators. The possibility of being questioned or even implicated in Diddy's alleged criminal activities has many A-listers breaking out in cold sweats. As the gravity of the situation becomes clear, high-profile figures are scrambling to distance themselves from Diddy. We're seeing a mass exodus of celebrities who once proudly called themselves Diddy's friends. Social media accounts are being scrubbed of photos with the embattled mogul, and publicists are working overtime to craft statements denying close associations. The potential career impacts for those associated with Diddy are severe. Even a hint of involvement in his alleged crimes could lead to lost endorsements, canceled projects, and a tarnished public image. Hollywood is notorious for its guilty by association mentality, and many are realizing that their past connections to Diddy might now be liabilities. We've seen this pattern before in Hollywood scandals. The Harvey Weinstein case is a prime example of how quickly the industry can turn on someone once considered untouchable. Those associated with Weinstein saw their careers take major hits, even if they weren't directly involved in his crimes. The Diddy case has the potential for similar far-reaching consequences. The long-term effects on Hollywood's social dynamics could be profound. This scandal might usher in a new era of caution in celebrity circles. The days of wild, no-holds-barred parties might be numbered as stars become more aware of the potential legal implications of their social lives. We might see a shift towards more private, carefully controlled gatherings as celebrities try to protect themselves from future scandals. The federal charges against Diddy are way more complex than your average celebrity scandal. We're talking serious allegations of sex trafficking and racketeering that could land him in prison for a long time if he's found guilty. These aren't just minor offenses. They involve accusations of running an organized crime operation and illegally exploiting people for sex. Diddy's legal team is facing an uphill battle, trying to navigate a maze of federal laws and potential evidence. The prosecution isn't messing around. They're likely building a case that goes beyond just witness testimony. That leaked phone call between Diddy and his son. If it's real, it could be a game changer. Prosecutors love this kind of evidence because it gives them a peek into what the defendant was thinking and doing when they thought no one was listening. In past high-profile cases, these kinds of recordings have been the nail in the coffin for defendants. But it's not just about that one phone call. The feds are probably digging into every aspect of Diddy's life and business dealings. They're looking for patterns of behavior, financial records, and anything else that could support their case. If they can prove that Diddy was running some kind of criminal enterprise, it could be lights out for his career and freedom. The possible outcomes of this trial are pretty serious. If Diddy's found guilty, he's looking at some heavy prison time. Sex trafficking charges often come with mandatory minimum sentences, and racketeering can add years on top of that. Even if he manages to beat some of the charges, the damage to his reputation could be permanent. Legal experts are split on Diddy's chances of walking away from this unscathed. Some think the prosecution might have bitten off more than they can chew, trying to paint a music mogul as a criminal mastermind. Others say the evidence might be too strong to ignore, especially if more witnesses come forward or more damning recordings surface. This case could set some big precedents for how celebrity trials are handled in the future. It's not just about Diddy anymore. It's about how the justice system deals with powerful figures in the entertainment world. The outcome could change how investigators approach cases involving high-profile defendants and their inner circles. As we wrap up our look at Diddy's legal battle, it's clear that the consequences of this case are going to reach far beyond just one man's fate. The entire music industry is watching, wondering who might be next and how this will change the game for everyone involved. As we wrap up this deep dive into Diddy's legal troubles, it's clear the consequences reach far beyond one man's fate. The music industry is on edge, wondering who might be next and how this will reshape the game for everyone involved. Diddy's extensive network has left many celebrities scrambling to distance themselves, scrubbing social media, and crafting careful statements. The days of wild, no-holds-barred parties might be numbered as stars become more aware of the potential legal fallout from their social lives. Looking ahead, we're left with some big questions. How will this case change the way the justice system deals with powerful figures in entertainment? Will we see a shift towards more private, carefully controlled gatherings as celebrities try to protect themselves from future scandals? And what about the loyal fans who've supported these artists for years? How will they reconcile their admiration with these troubling allegations? As this story continues to unfold, it's crucial to stay informed and think critically about the information we consume. High-profile cases like this often come with a lot of speculation and rumor. It's up to us to separate fact from fiction and consider the broader implications for the industry and society as a whole. The music world is changing before our eyes, and we're all witnesses to this pivotal moment in hip-hop history.